Hey now.
Hey guys, hello, good evening, good evening.
All right. Welcome to Relationship Chat. And of course, I'm Pastor Tim. This is Lady D. And we want you to do us a favor, like and share this real quick. We're going to be on to share some healthy habits for relationships. And we want to make sure that you get this into your family and friends. Let everybody know that we're on real quick.
That's right. Share this out if you're here. Drop a wave, drop an emoji. Let us know you're here. Say hello, hello, hello. And like Pastor said, share this out. This is for everybody. We're talking about healthy relationships, the habits of healthy relationships of every type. No matter your relationship status, you're going to enjoy and glean from tonight's session, relationship chat. So whether you're single, married, separated, divorced, it's complicated, doesn't matter. Tonight's live is for everybody. So share this out. Make sure that all those connected to you are watching.
Yeah, because I think, as we've said this before so many times, that relationships run the whole world. And even if you're watching this by replay, you're going to be glad you did. We know that many people are, if you got kids, you're trying to make sure they get settled in for the evening so you can have you some time to unwind. And, this is going to be good for you to take that in.
Yeah, India says, hey, India's here. Hey, India. Hello. Awesome.
All right. So so I think like I said before, relationships run the whole world. I think that once you understand that, you will start experiencing favor and design in your life. Nobody owes you anything. And people who are very nice to others and who work well with others, sometimes they get a bad rap and they call them brown nosers or they call them kiss ups. But the reason why it works because relationships actually get things done. Relationship can get things done when you don't have money. Relationship can get things done when you don't have the skill set, you don't have the favor that or the ability, but you know somebody that knows somebody, right? And you work well with them, not just in the work, but also even in romantic relationships. And so our goal is to encompass all of those for those of us who are married, those of us who are in those type of relationships, seeking to be married, somewhere in between. Everybody is connected to this. So we're going to talk about at least five of the healthy habits or five habits that healthy relationships have. And so that's what we plan to talk about. And so let's dive right into it. All right. So the first one is the number one is expressing appreciation daily. Expressing appreciation daily. Yeah. And so I think that's key. And what we mean by that is that in every relationship, there should be a pattern of positivity, gratitude, intimacy, and connection. And I think one thing that's really, really important in your everyday life is that you learn to appreciate that person, that especially if you're married, that person daily.
Right. And it's easy in marriages to begin to take an individual for granted and not show them that daily appreciation because you're common, you spend all your time together, you've been together for a certain number of years. And so sometimes we take for granted that that person needs to feel appreciated and that we need to feel appreciated as well inside of their relationships, inside of those relationships. But healthy relationships understand the value of expressing appreciation daily. It doesn't have to be anything that costs a lot of money or anything like that. Just showing appreciation daily is very helpful.
Yeah, and if you don't understand that, just look at your when you wake up in the morning, like, or especially if you're married, it's still good. My wife and I, we still say good morning to each other. Like, even though we laid in the same bed, even though we live in the same house, I may get up before her most of the time, but then when she finally gets up and she's moving about and we look at each other face to face, we say good morning. And it doesn't have to be a rosy, good morning, my love, oh sweet thing, whatever.
Right.
But it's a respect thing. It's like, I appreciate you. I'm glad to see you this morning. Hey, good morning, babe. Sometimes it's bright eyed good morning, but it's just a respect factor. It's the appreciation, and we try to do it daily. Also, too, just small things. When you see that person, communicating your love language, we'll talk about that in a minute. But when they do something nice for you, that word thank you goes a long way. And as she said before, if you tend to overlook those small thank yous, it can build up at first, what seems to be a little bit of resentment, and those feelings. We call those footholds, where an enemy can come in and start making you feel like that person doesn't appreciate you, and they take you for granted, and you start chewing on those thoughts,
Right.
and then they grow, and then before you know it, you began to argue, and it just started by just a simple thought.
Right.
um so you got to find something, and then not just to thank you, look to do something for your spouse. It's something small. We're not talking about building, making, using a lot of money, or the person that you're in a relationship with, not just your spouse but your children.
Yes.
We try to appreciate them daily. My wife is a little bit better at this than me, but she tells them every day, I believe in you, you can do it. I say it, but I say it in a different way. But just making sure that you touch on them and let them know, hey, I appreciate you. Right.
Right.
That's harder to do. It's easier to do when they're toddlers, but when they become teenagers, they don't do a lot of the lovey-dovey, and you got to find another way to
Yeah.
show that appreciation.
And then it's really important to do that and model that for them because you want them to engage in healthy relationships when they become adults. And so if they're in an environment where you're trying your best to love on them, they know how real love feels. And when they grow up and get into relationships, they'll know what's real and what's not.
That's
So
good.
it's really, that's why we say this relationship chat can apply to all relationships, because if you start doing it with your children, with your coworkers, with everybody around you, something's going to change. If you become more loving, more caring, those around you, you're going to find that they respond differently. And so that's really, really important as well. India says, my kids jump on me while I'm asleep. Is that their way of appreciating me? Yes, yes, that's their way of showing love and affection.
Yeah, they find a way. I don't
She said,
feel
I
that
don't
type
feel
of
that
love.
type of love.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
My Kylie is kind of like that. She's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't hurt. But
Right.
yeah, just got to find a way to do it. And really, if you think about it, I just had this thought that all of us are still big kids. Mainly, if you think about it, I know we're older. We've been around a few decades, but if you think about it, there is a small part of you that's still just a kid, and you just
Right.
want to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be needed and known. Everybody
Yes.
wants to feel loved. And if you can, and I won't use the word manipulate, but if you can encourage a child and appreciate them and watch their reaction, how much more can you do an adult? Especially
Yes.
that teenager that they are weird. Yes, they
Yes.
are weird.
Teens are different.
They get
They are
into a different
different. We're
space.
learning that right about now.
All right, so that's the first one. Make sure that you appreciate or express that appreciation daily. The next one is make sure that you fight fairly.
Yes.
Fight fairly, and you know, I like that because I think that it's not wise to think that you can live in a productive relationship and never have an argument or never fight.
Right.
To fight is just two opposing sides coming together.
Right.
Um, if you don't fight, no one can win. And the truth is what's supposed to win. Love is what's supposed to win. And if you have an opposing side and
Yes.
you don't clash with that person to try to make them better, then shame on you.
Right.
Shame on you. If I come home and all I do is complain about how they don't like me at the job and how they did this one did me wrong and that one did me wrong, and she's listening to all of my stories, and she opposes my viewpoint but never tells me, I'm not a better person. You know, I if she loves me, she will say, "Hey, you know, that wasn't right. You know, you need to fix that," or you know, in a nice way. So I think fighting is a part of relationship building, but you have to fight fair. And so it's okay to express disagreements and argue, and but that should lead to challenges and not insults.
Right.
Right? Your goal is to challenge your spouse, challenge your daughter, challenge your son, challenge your coworker, challenge, you know, those who are those who are in you're in relationship with, and not insult them.
Correct.
Right? I know sometimes in arguments insults can slip out, but fighting fairly is that when you hit below the belt, that you know you allow that person to call a foul, right? So like, can you give us an example of what's hitting below the belt? Like if we get into an argument.
Yeah, so hitting below the belt or using words and phrases that you know will trigger an adverse response from that person. You with this person, you've been in a relationship for a while. You know that thing that really takes them there. And you use that purposefully in arguments is not fighting fairly. Fighting fairly is being open and honest with your opinion, but in a way where you come to the table to hear and to listen, not just to be heard. That's fighting fairly. Going below the belt or using words like every 5 minutes, a divorce, divorce. You know, when that's not really what you want in your heart, right? Um, so those type of things you want to avoid. You always want to come into a disagreement because you will have them. Like Pastor said, if you are human and you are raised over here and they're a human, they're raised over there, there will be disagreements. There will be disagreements, but that's how you encourage the other person to grow. Disagreements are opportunities to grow. And so you want to fight fairly so that you don't start saying things and doing things that you regret in the long run. Once you get those words out there, you can't take them back. Once you get those actions out there, you can't take them back. So you definitely want to fight fairly if you want to engage in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, like, you know, and maybe here's another example too, perhaps saying things like, you know, you just like your mama, you know, you just like this one, you're never gonna, you always do this, you never do that, you know, those are, especially if that relationship is estranged, you know, they've expressed to you they're not really happy where their relationship is with their father or their mother or their brother or their sister, and you say something like, well, I can see why your sister treats you like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's hitting below the belt. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the reason why you didn't do something or the reason why you're fighting. And if it does, you just lost your opportunity to help them with that.
Yeah.
You know, you may see a behavior that may think about some of the issues that they have, but you better be careful in how you offer it, because you could lose, like they say, lose your whole crowd. You could lose the moment because they see that as a highly offensive weapon. And now they are in attack mode and they are not in the interest of getting better, hearing your side. All they heard was that low below the belt moment. And now the gloves are coming off and we about to throw everything we got. We're about to start throwing insults and hollering and screaming because of those triggers. And so when you're with the person that you know them, I mean, this is a person you're in a relationship with. You can't be overly concerned about triggers of people that you don't know, because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But these are people you know. These are people that know you, and you know what, you know, triggers them, at least a few things. Those are the things that no matter how upset you get, you should collectively, you know, and decisively make that decision not to say those words, not to do those things, so that you can get to the next level and find a solution ultimately.
Right. That's what both parties are after is a solution. What's the solution?
Yeah, where are we gonna go from here?
Right.
Okay, we're breezing through these. All right, let's go to number three. Number three, it says ask for what you need. And I think this is a common, very, very a common situation between men and women mainly, because of the fact that men and women think differently. Oh, Kenosha said hi.
Hey,
Um, I think because men and women think so differently, it's easy to misconstrue or misunderstand what the person may be saying or what they're asking for
yeah.
or what they may be thinking. And I think that it's unfair for you to be thinking something, refuse to say it, and then hold that person accountable
Yeah.
for only what you're thinking. I mean, you didn't say it. You wished that they would hand you the salt, but you didn't ask, and then you got upset because they walked right past it
Yes.
and handed it to the person behind you.
Wow.
And you say, "Well, you're just gonna look over me." Well, you didn't just say, "Hey, can you hand me the salt? Can you pass me that?" It's okay. And I think sometimes I think we kind of in the beginning we kind of talked about some of those things about how you would say, "I wish you would do this," and I would say things like, "I can't read your mind."
Right, right. Definitely, our spouse, our partner cannot read our mind. Our children cannot read our minds. Our family members can't read our minds. So we've got to stand in our power and articulate, be very um, serious and interested in articulating exactly what we need, what we feel, what we desire. If we're not able to do that, we can't hold people accountable to what we're not articulating, what we're not able to articulate about our feelings, our wants, our needs, what we need from that individual. Okay. So you got to ask for what you need. It's an opportunity for you to exercise communication. It's an opportunity for you to, stand inside of your position in the relationship. No one person, it's a relationship between more than one person. No one person can just take it and run with it. It takes two to be in a relationship. And so you got to be able to say, open your mouth and say what you need.
So, what do you say about to the person that say, "Well, um, if he truly loves me, or if she truly loves me, they would know what I need."
Now,
And
only Jesus knows what you need. He's the only one that can read your mind. Holy Spirit, yes, he knows the everything going on with you inside and out. You're in a relationship with a human who is limited, who is finite, who is a mere mortal.
wow,
Okay.
that's good.
And so they're not omniscient and omnipresent. They're not all knowing. And so no, they don't know. They're clueless. And most of them are clueless. And so you gotta articulate, open your mouth and tell them what you need. This is what I need from you. So for example, I need more time. I need more date nights. I need you to not just come home and go to sleep. I need you to come home and talk to me, and because I've got something to say. Be very specific. So we see that too in relationships that we consult and work with. Well, I said, you didn't speak to me, but up underneath that, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
So be as specific as you can. Kenosha says, "Yep, child, yes."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So be as specific as you can. This specific thing, I need you to come in the house, and I need your help cleaning up. I really would like for you to plan the meals. Whatever it is, be specific, as specific as you can. And I know we're talking about relationships, but that's where self-awareness comes in too. That's where understanding what you need, because if we don't understand what we need and we're not able to articulate it through words, sentences, and phrases, then a lot of times it's because we haven't understood what we really, really need. Or we're afraid to express it for fear of them leaving. They're going to get mad if I ask for that. They're going to think that's too much. Well, no, that's not, you don't want to be in a bondage like that where you can't express yourself because you're fearful of abandonment. There's some other things that you want to explore within self so that you heal and you're able to share and ask for what you need.
Right. And here's one thing you should remember. Healthy relationships stay away from assumptions.
Yes.
Healthy relationships stay away from assumptions.
Yes.
It's not a good thing for you to assume that you know what the person is thinking.
Right.
You know what they meant by that. If you don't know, you should ask.
Yes.
And because if you lean on those assumptions for too long, you can do what I call start poking the bear. And poking the bear leads to an argument. You know, um, I've we've been at it for 20 plus years, and I've learned to that if it appears to me that you're bothered, it's okay if I ask, but if you say I'm fine, then now more times than not I'm gonna say okay, even if it still looks like she is bothered, I have asked, and she'll tell me when she's ready, right?
Right.
But what I used to do is start poking the bear. Just start saying, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? You know there's something wrong. You know you did this. You know you did that. Come on. I see you this, you that, you that, you this, you did that. And then next thing you know, it's like, then the bear comes out, right? And you can flip this into whatever relationship that you want, you know, just stay away from those assumptions. Ask for what you need. If you need help, don't assume they don't want to help. If you need alone time, don't assume that they're going to get upset because you asked for that. Ask for it and stay away from those assumptions so that the understanding can rule at the end of the day.
Amen.
Number 4, I see Nishadi said, don't poke the bear. And that's true.
Right. That's right.
Thanks for tagging all those people, Kenosha. All right, so number 4 says speak your partner's love language every day. And so we start talking about that. Nishani says open up your mouth. Absolutely.
Yes.
Your love language every day. So I think love language is so popular now. So I am assuming, well, they say stay away from assumptions, but I am hoping after the millions and millions of people, somebody said, please don't poke the bear, Jesus. You may get a grizzly. Absolutely. For sure. We all have a grizzly bear in us somewhere.
Yes.
And so but I'm sure by now you've at least heard of the 5 love languages. If you haven't, you need to Google it and you need to take this small assessment and find out what your love languages are and what your spouse's love language or your significant other or even your family member. It's good to know what the love language of your people, even your kids, if they're old enough to understand the questions. It says speak the love language every day, and so that means that you've got some work to do. That if you know what your love language is, that you should seek out your partner's love language and then choose to speak it every day. I think I'm gonna accept that challenge.
Yes.
More.
What's yours again?
Did you?
No,
you're not.
I know what it is. You got all of
well,
them.
it's 5 of them. It's 5.
You got 4. You got 4 to 5.
No. Everybody has 5, but
right,
we go 5, in the level of dominance.
4 of them. You real strong in 4, except for gifts. That's not yours.
And that's your strongest one, gifts. That's the only one you got. That's the only one you got. Buy me something. Buy me something. Buy me something. Buy me something. Right.
But absolutely. And I think, like you said, that goes back to knowing your love language. No, what is it? First of all, what is it that, and we hit on this last week at Pink Wednesday during our Galentine's celebration, but it's up to us to know what our love language is so that we can clearly articulate, going back to that previous point about ask for what you want. You don't know what you want if you don't know your own love language.
Right. And then it can change.
Not pouring that type of love into yourself first. You want to do that first because then that makes it easy on your partner to do it. What they do is extra. Right. So you want to understand your love language. That's the first step. 2, you want to start loving yourself, radically loving yourself, pouring that love language into yourself, whatever it is. So if it's words of affirmation, get in the mirror, affirm yourself. If it's gifts, go buy yourself a gift. What's another one?
Physical touch.
Physical touch. If it's physical touch, hug yourself.
Be careful now.
Okay. What's the other one?
I mean, you're supposed to be helping these people, and you don't even know what they are.
Okay.
Anyway,
You got the point. You get the point.
I don't know if they do or not.
That's right. Nashida says they don't understand an assignment that's assigned to you. Now you better preach.
Yeah.
They don't understand the assignments. It's assigned to you first. Find out what your love language is. Radically infuse it into your own life. That way, physical touch, get a massage, paint your nails, face shield.
She helping you out. I didn't say it.
That's right. Okay. So that's her thing. She's a self-love person. So she knows this stuff like the back of her head.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. Do that first. And then you'll be able to tell the other person, your partner, hey, this is what I like. This lights me up. This is how I receive love. FYI.
Yeah. And then I think too that you should not just be selfish in your approach of wanting to receive the love language from the spouse, but that's why it's important for you to the love languages go both ways. Correct. So by the way, there is words of affirmation.
Right.
There is quality time. Mm-hmm. There is physical touch.
Spend time with yourself.
Yeah, physical touch. Then there is gift giving. And then there is what is the last one?
Gifts. Words about acts of service.
Acts of service. So yeah, acts of service. So that's my biggest one. So like it's not, and then it goes both ways. So you have to find out what you like to receive and the way you like to show it. Mm-hmm. So my biggest one that I do every single day is acts of service. Mm-hmm. Right?
Because that's what you love.
That's what I love to give.
And because that's what you love to receive.
Well,
you tend to love to give that love.
That's true.
What you love to receive.
That's true. So I'm doing that all day long. But see, that's not her number one.
Right.
She does do it.
Yeah.
But that's me all day, every morning. You know, most mornings I can say I'm getting up, I'm checking to see if her phone needs to be charged. You know, all she has to say is, "Where's my other shoe?" And then I'm getting up, I'm going to go and find it. And if I can't find it, I'm making the kids help me look for it. If she says I can't find my phone, I drive everywhere. You know, I do all of those things.
This a brag?
No, I'm not bragging. I'm saying this is my world. Nobody makes me do it.
That's right.
And I don't.
You do. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so that's what I do. Okay. Yeah. So now she said before the gifts is my lower one. So I don't think about what can I go buy her to show my appreciation. Do I buy gifts? Yes, but that's not the first thing I'm thinking. Cool. So that doesn't make me a bad person. Doesn't make me a bad husband.
Right.
It doesn't make me not the person for her. It just means that. But here's my thing. When I am showing that, I want to hear thanks, babe. I want to hear
that's right.
You didn't have to do that, so I appreciate that. Oh man, I'm gonna go do 5 more things. Right. So that's why it's important for you to know when your spouse is showing that love, right? And then my wife, when we first got together, she used to buy me a bunch of stuff, and that used to make me cringe inside. I'm like, why are you spending money? You're buying stuff. Stop buying stuff. I don't need you to buy anything. You know, you can just give me a kiss and we can just go to the bedroom. We ain't got to buy nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but I realized that gifts mean something to her.
Right.
And I had to learn how to appreciate nice things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Gifts. I like gifts, but that's one of them. Definitely words of affirmation as well. Those are my 2.
So I know we stayed on that hard. Nashida, you laughing. I know we stayed on that hard, but that's important that you seek to do those things every day. Last but not least, on that one, she, you know, I try to use us as an example. She likes the physical touch, so she likes the massages and stuff like that, and the cuddle and stuff like that. I'm not a cuddle person.
No,
I'm not a cuddle person. It doesn't mean I don't want to be around you. I could literally need some affection, but I won't reach out for it. And
Right.
she comes, now she realizes she'll come and she'll nestle up under me, or she'll give me a hug, or she'll come and give me a kiss on my forehead. And sometimes I just downright growl. Sometimes I growl, I grunt on the inside. And she just laughed like, I know you stress, I know you tense, but you need this. And I'm like, get off of me. But way deep down inside, I'm receiving it. And I do feel better after I receive it, but it's not natural for me.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to receive that. That's her thing. And it makes me better too. All right. So moving on to the last one.
Last one. There'll be a part 2 next month. This is just part 1, but this was the last one. Do chores together. Yes, you want to see if you and your spouse, your significant other, got some teamwork going. Get that mop and that bucket out, and
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, cleaning is good.
I mean, like we do that, like we're doing like a deep clean or something like that.
Yeah.
We come together.
I'm
It's
thinking
like,
more like
hey, I'm
cooking.
about to do. I'm gonna do the bleach. I'm gonna bleach this whole thing down. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this, and we come together. It feels good to have a team effort on something.
I like cooking better though. When we cook
Yeah.
food together, we cook breakfast together. We
Yes.
normally do that pretty good, especially on Saturdays. The kids are working now, but we used to do that. We used to get in the kitchen, one person on the bacon, and you do the grits and stuff, and we in there talking and cooking,
Yes.
and we still
And
do that.
the good thing of, like, this seems small, but it's not. Do chores together. The good thing about this is it shows you that you guys can work together as a team. When we first got together, Nishai's like, cooking. Yes, we do that from time to time. Yes, yes. So when we first got together, we realized, hey, we work pretty good as a team, like do chores and or whatever else. I mean, if we were on a team at church or something like that, not
Always.
knowing that we would end up being a ministry team, not knowing that we would end up being a business team. So it's a great way to see like your partner's strength in working together, right? So doing those chores together it's a look at your future and how you guys can like literally tackle some things together. So do it. It's fun. It's exciting. You feel rewarded afterwards by just having this immaculately clean house or beautifully cooked meal. But it shows that you guys are one.
It works with
That
your
you can
kids
work
too.
together.
It works with your kids too.
Works with your kids too. Now getting the teens to cooperate.
It's tough.
But
and I'm gonna say this too: like if you're gonna do cooking or cleaning,
yes.
It allows, like she said, it allows you to see what that person is like.
Yes.
And it allows you to get to know them, but don't use that time to learn, and don't use that against them and start criticizing.
Yeah, how they
why you do it like that? Don't do my eggs like that. You done messed these up, and I mean you've turned something that should be good into a fight.
Yeah.
Like when we clean up the room or something like that, one thing for us is that she likes to make the bed up a certain way.
Yes.
Okay, the sheets got to go some kind of way. Her grandmother, I tuck the corners, but it's not like her.
Yeah.
So it's a certain way her grandmother taught her how to do it. And if I do it, here she comes. I got it. And sometimes I just do it just to see her get in a fit about it, because I know she don't like that.
Right.
Whatever. So if we happen to be making up the bed or something like that, I go over there and try to put the corners in. She'd be like, leave my corners alone. Whatever. Like that's considered some congeniality. That's considered to be some love and affection, collaboration. But don't let that turn into a fight. Don't let that turn into an insult. You don't know how to cook and you messed this up. Just get on out of here. I got it. No, that's not gonna do it. If they're not chopping the onions the way you chop them, just let them. The frying pan don't care.
I know. Shawty said that's how I am with logic. Just don't even touch it.
See that? There you go. You let Victor fold his clothes like he want to. Let him fold his shirts how he want to fold them. If it's his jeans or something, let him do whatever he want to do with it. Sometimes, then you go back and change it later. But while he's at it, go on and let him do it. Yeah. So like those are some things that we have. We have more, of course, but we're just going to drop off these 5 to you today, so that you can get better. You can use some of this stuff tonight. You can use it tomorrow, and let that make you better. Um, so that's all we have. I think we want to, Michelle, I see you laughing. Um, if we don't have any questions, if you don't have a question tonight, we're gonna go ahead and let people give them an opportunity to give. Of course, relationships run the world, and this is a holy moment. We've come in, we decide to be real, and usually, typically, thanks, Miss Barbara. Typically, after Valentine's Day, either you on cloud nine or you were kind of upset and frustrated. So I'm not at all surprised that we have just a few watching live. They'll watch the replay, but some people don't want to be reminded of some of the stuff that just went down a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
But you're gonna have to get better, like cooking microwave and the bacon in the microwave. I see you, Valerie Phillips. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's my mother-in-law. That's the inside joke. But she likes to cook bacon in the microwave, and it's pretty tasty. But I don't want. I have a mental complex when it comes to bacon in the microwave. I just don't think it belongs in there. But it always tastes good. I mean, she knows how to do it. I don't. And so it's just you got to learn something. You're in the kitchen together.
Right.
But when you, like I said, this is a holy moment, and so you got to, it's good to be reminded that in the holy moments, that's right, Miss Barbara, choose your battles. In the holy moments, that you release your seed. You release your seed in the holy moment. You don't have to be in church. Pandemic taught us that you don't have to be inside of a church to have a holy moment. You don't have to be inside of a service to have a holy moment. Anytime holy people coming together, what does the scripture say? Where there are 2 or 3 gathered together in my name, I will be in the midst. And wherever Jesus is, that's a holy place. That's a holy moment. And this is a holy moment. And so it must become a habit that when you are in the presence of God, that you find something to share in that moment. And so as we've done this relationship chat, we want those of you that connect to our ministry and that you certainly appreciate and was looking forward to an opportunity to sow into this moment, this wealthy place, this place of restoration. And we certainly appreciate those of you that can and will sow tonight. Of course, there are the ways you can do it: the Cash App, the website, and text that number to give. Sow that seed today. And this has been fun. Also, amen. Also, you want to be on the lookout. We've RPC's changing. We're going to be coming back to person and back to service in person very soon. And we're going to be sending out the information, everything you need to know about our in-person worship. And we can't wait to worship with you all in person. We're so thankful that this pandemic is dying down, or that and that we have also become better at treating it, finding the symptoms, and keeping moving and putting this thing behind us once and for all. We may not ever get rid of the virus itself, meaning the remnants or the cells, but we can put our foot on top of it, right? We can put it under our feet, and so that we can live beyond what has happened in the past. And so we're grateful for that. And because of that, we are able to continue on in our worship. All right. So, Lady D, do you have anything else for the people?
No, we just speak blessing and favor over every relationship. We believe that this will be a year that your relationships will go to new heights and experience accelerated favor. That's the word for the year. And we believe that that applies to every single area of your life, even your relationships.
Amen. All right. Well, God bless you. We'll see you Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for another worship experience. God bless everybody. All right. See you. Have a great night.